That baby baptism. See? That's big punisher. Don't punish me. Shut love, can't you punish me. Listen, I like Puerto Rican. Somewhere this summer, between the months of May to July, it came somewhere that I was some Puerto Rican hater. But it comes like that because see what it is depending on the boxer, depending on the time of the year, and depending on who I feel may win or lose, people are going to think I'm some sort of racist. So as it stands right now, according to the fans, I hate all Puerto Ricans fighters. I hate all black fighters. I hate all Mexican fighters. I hate all fighters from Thailand. I hate all fighters from Kazakhstan. And seriously, because my critical views come from me. They're only my opinion. So let's just say Miguel Cotto, the WBC 160-pound champion, the 160-pound champion of the world, I criticized him for not being a true middleweight. And then you put him along with Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach, I don't see people question Freddie Roach's tactics as far as, putting out these contracts for fighters to sign with these low-ass weights. But if you think about it, that's been done throughout history, throughout time. We've seen a similar tactic with Mayweather and Madonna with the gloves. Just so happened, Arthur Abraham and Paul Smith for the WBO 168-pound title went through the same thing with the, it's tactics. So I look at it like this: when you're on the other side and you're looking at the contract and be like, damn, they're gonna drain me. When you sign a contract, if it says you gotta make a certain weight, you're a grown man. If you feel you can't make the weight, then be like, no, I can't take that fight. For example, we heard Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. on Boxeo Azteca say that him and his son were meeting with Top Rank and Miguel Cotto for a potential bout this year. Right now it's October the 7th, 2014, this year, for a super fight. Now, first thing you say to yourself is, wait, Chavez at what? 160? He ain't making no 160. Then the second thing you ask yourself is, Freddie Roach and Cotto, they're going to start at 154. And I'm serious. I said it multiple times. I feel that they start like this. Okay, all right. Chavez, can you make 154.5? Chavez be like, what? No. Chavez be like, 162. Then they be like, all right, 154.727. Chavez, no, 161.5. Freddie Roach and Cotto. 156.2, or we're walking away. Really, like, seriously. So when I first heard that, I'm like, that shit's not happening. And it's not that I don't feel that Cotto can fight at a full 160 pounds. But it's just that Cotto wants to keep his career at that 154 to 155. And right now, you got, and it's true, I've heard others say it, he's the undisputed, unified, best ever fighter at 155 pounds right now, Saul Canelo Alvarez. So in 2 fights at that division, he's conquered all, of the division. So when you got Miguel Cotto weighing in at 155 for when he fought Sergio Martinez. Sergio Martinez weighed in at 159. The catch weight was 159. I know if I'm correct, Sergio weighed in at 158 3/4. But what I'm saying is this. Timothy Bradley and Miguel Cotto, media-wise, allegedly agreed that, oh yeah, I'll fight him if you want to fight. But then Timothy Bradley goes and loses to Manny Pacquiao and whatever the case may be. And I'm talking about at some like 155 bullshit for the 160-pound title. So Miguel Cotto right now is not fighting for this year. No more in 2014. He beat, wait, when did he beat? That was last year, so he had 1 fight this year. Not fighting no more. Why? You can understand that, and I have to address it, that Manny Pacquiao was fighting on November the 22nd. Cotto was set to return December the 6th or December the 13th on HBO. He wanted to have a full camp with his trainer, fully focused, #1 on him. One of the reasons why Amir Khan left Freddie Roach was citing that he was number 2. So he had to schedule all his fights around Pacquiao because of, Cotto. And Cotto's name is right up there with Pacquiao. So Cotto has every right to say, all right, listen, I want your full expertise. I don't want to go over there with you and Lucy and Butte over to the Philippines and train over there. I want you to be able to train, come to Puerto Rico with me. Like I'm A-side, I'm Miguel Cotto. But then, I have to address it. I'm not going to talk about it. I was going to talk about the pink Crocs, the tutu, and the holding the hands with that. I'm not going to address it. So moving on. There's a lot Miguel Cotto has to offer the sport. Now, let me throw out a scenario to you. Let's say if he fights Saul Canelo Alvarez. Right now, if you don't know, Saul Canelo Alvarez is not fighting again this year. Some sort of ankle injury. So once again, you leave Showtime. You got some beef out there with All-Star Boxing. Mayweather and Canelo and fighting for May the 2nd, 2014. You got Al Heyman, NBC Sports, and some ankle injury pops up. I'm thinking that you got Steven Espinoza and his guys like, yo, we gonna sue the shit out of you, motherfucker. Think about this. The last card that was on Showtime, there was a Golden Boy card, was the Mayweather fight. Then before that, the Adrian Broner fight. The last fight, October the 4th, with Al Heyman fighters that would normally fight on Golden Boy Promotions cards. This was promoted by Lou DiBella and Goosen Promotions, with Al Heyman fighters fighting Goosen fighters and such. So this next card with Heyman fighters, Andre Durrell and Jermaine Taylor is going to be on, I forgot who's promoting the fight. I forgot who's promoting it. But it's not Golden Boy. It's going to be on ESPN. Carlos Molina, who's an Al Heyman fighter, is fighting on October the 8th. And that's going to be on ESPN, not Showtime. Now, if you think about all the other fighters, and I know this video is going away from the Canelo, but if you think about all the other fighters under the Golden Boy banner right now, or have been fighting under the Golden Boy banner, who are Al Heyman fighters, they have no dates. We're hearing about they're going to be fighting on this day. There is no card set up for Devin Alexander. There's no card set up for Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Amir Khan, Robert Guerrero, and the whole gosh darn Al Heyman stable. So what I'm saying is you got Canelo jumping shit with Golden Boy, like, oh, we taking him over here. Some shit's going on over here. Let's make sure we secure you up so you're not the only fighter fighting on Showtime when all these other people go leave. No, we out right now. So I'm thinking maybe it's some type of lawsuit going on or whatever the case may be. But here's something else, to throw in. Miguel Cotto is saying he's going to come back at the very beginning of 2015. So if he decides to come back just for Canelo, taking almost a year off and fighting one time in almost 2 years, it's like, well, wait a minute. Y'all need to be out there active selling this fight right now. Y'all need to fight some interim opponents. Canelo had his in December, and now that's gone. And then Cotto needs one at least in January if they want to fight in May. And Cotto doesn't seem like the type of guy that'll fight one fight and then, having to go right into another one like that. It's just, I'm thinking this. The whole point of this is Canelo wants to fight on that date, but it's like now you get injured or something going on. It's too much going on for me to believe that it's an injury. I'm sorry. It's just too much going on for me to believe that it's an injury. When you got lawsuits and broken verbal agreements, you got Showtime executives crying their hearts out on Twitter. What am I supposed to believe? Like, realistically. But by the way, I'm TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Love. All my videos, even the articles right for this very topic is right down below, Real Combat Media. Also, since I'm going to drink a little bit of my black coffee in bed, it's before your time. So there's a poll, Hopkins versus Kovalv. I'm going to be getting to that event. I'm going to start working the phones this week. It's going to be the first event that I'm going to fully cover. I just hope that nothing gets in the way. There's a poll. You just got to go to the poll and vote. So click the Real Combat Media link right below, and then on the right side of the screen is going to be the poll. Hopkins versus Kovalv. Hopkins by decision, Hopkins by knockout, yada yada. Just vote. It's going to take a couple of seconds. So before I gather my thoughts, let me think about what I was talking about, because sometimes I be forgetting stuff, especially shooting on my videos live and uncut. The Cotto scenario. So imagine Cotto defeating Canelo. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. Just think if Cotto defeats Canelo. Then Cotto goes on to fight his mandatory in Golovkin. So right there are two pay-per-view fights. Because if that Canelo versus Cotto fight does over 1.5 million, which I'm guaranteeing it will do, then you got Cotto, if he wins, going on to a Golovkin who should be pay-per-view ready by that time, because remember, he had a pay-per-view deal on the table with Chavez at Top Rank, but then Chavez got pissed off because Aaron was trying to throw in like, well, you make this 2 million plus right now for this fight, you know, no contract extension, or you make 6.6 million in a contract extension. And I'm not gonna get too deep into that. So imagine if those two fights happen and Cotto beats GGG. And then what if Cotto goes on to fight Mayweather in a second bout, win or loss? Now, think about that. Cotto's career, he has a very, very, very good and excellent resume. But if you think about the biggest fights, a win over Canelo would be the biggest win of his career. Realistically, would be the biggest win of his career, because his biggest fights, Pacquiao and Mayweather, he lost. So if he beats Canelo, it would be the biggest win of his career, and yes, bigger than Shane Mosley. Damn sure bigger than Margarito, Mayorga, and Clottey. So when you look at the fact that if he goes on to beat GGG and answers the questions of okay, like, listen, are you a real middleweight or not? Because Golovkin is the mandatory. Golovkin can go collect another belt, depending on Jermaine Taylor and Sam Solomon. Now, Jermaine Taylor, if Jermaine Taylor wins, listen, thank you, Al Heyman, thank you so much. You know, I must say that. But Jermaine Taylor is going to be advised not to fight Gennady Golovkin. And like, no, I advise you not to do it. Thank you, Al Heyman. No, seriously, thank you, seriously, thank you. Thank you. So, if Sam Solomon wins, then Golovkin can go get that IBF title, you know, and then be the WBA Super World, you know, and then the, what has he got, the IBL, that don't count, and then get that IBF, you know, and then maybe go after Matvey Korobov, you know, the winner of Matvey Korobov, Andy Lee, which is a makeable fight, you know, and then fight Cotto, so by the time Cotto get to him, that could be a mega unification bout. But, you know, will it happen? We don't know. You'd be surprised how much depends on Jermaine Taylor versus Sam Solomon, and that's going to be happening on October the 8th. You know, and I'm going to be watching that fight right here live. Actually, I'm going to be covering the weigh-in in about an hour or two or so. We got to talk about Jermaine Taylor. But you see, I can go on all day, and obviously right now at this point in time, I'm rambling because I'm trying to figure out where do I go next with this subject. So I'm going to say this. I don't believe that it's an injury. You know, they were saying that the Clottey fight was official. I did an interview with De La Hoya, and I noticed during that interview that he only mentioned HBO fighters with James Kirkland, Clottey, and Andrade. So something right there told me like, oh, what's something going on with Showtime? You know, then you got Bernard Hopkins popping up on HBO to fight Kovalv, and you think, oh, well, wait a minute. He's a Golden Boy. He's part owner of Golden Boy Promotion. So what is he doing? You know, so, you know, something's going on that I'm thinking that it's more than just this injury. Now, am I saying that there is no injury? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, I don't believe it. So until I see them post some stuff on Instagram or Twitter, you seen David Hay up there, you know, acting like he was asleep, like, you know, like passed out, showing his injured, you know, shoulder. You seen Kell Brook showing, you know, when he got tried to, like, he almost got assassinated. You know, he got a big ass gash on his leg. Who else you seen in like a cast? So they made sure. Oh, Victor Ortiz, when he showed his jaw and it just was completely broken. Come on, Canelo, I want to see some pictures. I want to see you in a cast. Let me see it. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, and I cover boxing. Please subscribe.